You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello and welcome to the 129th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined today by a few of my favorite Fallout faces. Hello, Shalene.
Hey, Andrew, how you doing? My mind is blown that we're on episode 129. I didn't know podcast episodes went that high.
Did they go that? I don't even know. We should just switch to daily and just start blowing it out the back end, right? Also, today with us, Jess. Hello, Jess.
Greets all.
Thank you for joining us. Also, again, Pat. Hi, Pat. Thanks again for coming on.
Hey, my pleasure. Hey, team. How we doing?
And returning like Odysseus.
I did make it all the way back home.
You made it home. But your wife, okay, no wait, your wife was
Penelope was with him, so it
was a little less dramatic than his return home, I guess. But Ray, welcome home, sir.
Thank you very much.
So, I didn't see you a ton in the Facebook chat recently, so I assume you've just been, since your internet was a little bit shoddy on the road. Have you just been living in Appalachia? Are you all 76 for the last day and a half?
Well, besides unpacking, I did start getting caught up on a few things. Okay. I've done a lot of tadpole tests.
Oh, nice. We'll totally get into some of these badges later. That was something a possible. We don't need no sticking badges, Pat.
No, not at all.
No, but Pat, you're not even doing that, are you?
No. I've done. I'm a possum. I did my tadpoles.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I'm actually obsessed with bending right now. Well, obsessed with buying.
Bending. I thought you said bending. I was confused.
Bending. No, I said bending, but I'm actually obsessed with buying things right now.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
I'm actually going to every vendor I can get to and just seeing if there's any plans that I don't have yet, because there's 19 out of 20 vendors don't have a plan that I don't know. So that's that's what I've been spending a lot of time. And I'm actually having okay luck selling a few things myself too, which is actually surprising me.
Nice.
You really are. Tell them about that skeleton suit.
Oh yeah. The rare skeleton drop sold it for 1,000 caps.
Wow.
Yeah. I was just kind of a flyer. It's like, what's the market going to bear here? So, and sure enough, 1,000 caps. I listed a furious. I listed a Power Fist tonight. I mean, it's 40% power attack, instigating +1 endurance. So a 3-star, pretty darn good Power Fist. I'm going to see what I can get for that one. So I listed it at $5,000 just to see what happens.
Wow, that sounds like a great Power Fist, though.
It is a damn good Power Fist. If I were not such a power armor junkie, I'd keep it. But anything serious I do, I'm in power armor. And as Andrew and I have talked about many times, that does not go with Power Fists.
So, Pat, can I borrow 1,000 caps? There's a Power Fist I'm interested in buying.
Pop into my world. It's all yours, baby. Hey, there's a friends and family discount too. Don't you worry about that.
What are you vending, Shalene?
I'm not. I haven't built my vending machine yet. I'm very cheap with the caps. It bothers me a lot that you have to pay caps to fast travel. So I don't spend them much in the stores because I want to save them for fast travel and also for ballistic fiber. So I haven't really done much buying and selling.
Jess and I have a threshold of about 4,000 or 5,000 caps that neither of us can ever seem to bust.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we used to have that threshold. I remember.
I've recently gotten to I'm almost to 8,000. I'm really
Yep.
trying to get those neon letters.
Nice.
You're almost there, baby.
A week and a half ago, right around the time of last show, I had 7 caps to my name from fast traveling and too much shopping because,
Holy
shopping.
moly.
And now I'm at over 5,000.
Wow.
Player vending for the win.
How'd you turn that around? What did you buy in the first place to get rid of all of it? And then what did you turn around and sell to get it all back?
Well, buying was just like we were talking about earlier, plans we don't know. I am a sucker for any plan I don't know.
Yeah.
And it turns out there were more than I thought, But we've been talking a lot about buying and selling. And after last week, probably about 1,800 to 2,000 of the caps I got were from crafting and selling because I did the spring cleaning thing last time. And then I emptied out my inventory a little more because I was on a roll. But I've been selling like crazy. 45 and 5.56 ammo, a lot of plans, some mods. I had a listener actually. It was great. Someone came by and they messaged me and they said the Fallout feed. Oh my god! And they said I lost my shit. My friend wondered what was going on. So yay, the Welcome Center doing its thing.
Nice.
And they went in and
Yeah.
started shopping, and they bought my All Rise because that's a unique weapon you only get from doing Mayor for a day.
Mhm.
So they bought my All Rise for
Right.
like $950. I figured that was a reasonable price. I put it in for under 1,000.
They said, "Oh shit, the Fallout." I'm misunderstanding you. They didn't recognize the podcast, though.
Yes, they did. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, they were so excited to see us in game.
That is a cool feeling, isn't it?
That's really fucking sweet. Oh, thanks, guys.
It is. I mean, it happens a little bit. We get messaged and people joining us, but more often than not, we're the ones doing the advertising.
Yeah.
But yeah, so buying and selling has been great. Done really well, and I'm surprised at how well it's doing. It kind of makes me want to do more.
Yeah. So what are we going to sell? Have we done the calculations yet on which ammo is the most cost effective of materials to what you can sell it for demand? Like the high demand is shotgun shells 5.56, 45.
So Sergio was saying he's had good luck with 10 mil.
Yeah, that was a surprise. He has.
And I sold like 1,550 cal that I made by mistake. So
Yeah. How did you just mistakenly got on a roll?
The pace at which I slammed through Ammo Smith is just ridiculous. So I would like looked up. It's like, oh crap, that's the wrong one. But I sold them all, so it's okay. I sold them all for a cap each. It's fine.
Excess inventory. You should label one of your machines repo.
Dealer second. Yeah.
Exactly.
Slightly ruffled.
The factory outlet store. I've never fired that 50 cal machine gun.
Oh, it's so good. It's
Is it
really
fun?
satisfying.
Yeah, especially the explosive.
Is it one you hang down by your hip, kind of like a minigun style, or how's it fired? It's not a shoulder harnessed weapon, is it?
You know what? I don't even know. I play first person.
I think you hold it kind of like a minigun. I see them out like at Scorched Earth. I see laser Gatlings and 50 cals.
I guess I need to bust it out and figure it out. Sounds like fun. I don't have any of the big gun cards. We were talking about big gun cards earlier today, Pat. You were talking about maybe investing in a new weapon?
Yeah, so I bought for 500 caps, I bought a Furious. Let's see, what is it? It's Furious, and let me look it up here. Oh, yeah. Furious Explosive. So it's not 2-shot explosive, but Furious Explosive, I think, is pretty good for a minigun, and it was only 500 caps.
And Furious does increased damage on each consecutive hit.
Yep.
Something
Yep.
like that.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
So if you don't miss, that could be pretty devastating if it literally has no cap and keeps multiplying.
Yeah, with rapid fire.
Yeah. Well,
It has to have a cap. There's no way it doesn't have a cap, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it does. Yeah, I've because when I've gone out and I use either a Furious Grognak or a Furious Sword at Scorched Earth, and you could definitely tell that at some point it's not doing any more damage to the Queen. I mean, you can see it going up. Like you can actually see it going up against the Queen or like a Sheep Squatch. Most things you only hit it 2 or 3 times and they die. But a sheep squatch or the queen, you can see it going up over time.
I wonder if you opened your Pip-Boy fast enough, before it slowed down, if you could catch it.
That's a good point. I bet you could.
Because I know the perk card with the same thing. It does 6% per strike up to a max of 36% additional. So that would be 6 hits you'd hit max. I don't know if yours is the same or not, but it would be good to see because you can see on that card.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'll have to think about that. Yeah.
That was a Adrenaline and Furious combo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have one left because I took my agility down to 6 when I respec, so I only have one level of adrenaline. I kind of balance between adrenaline and action boy on my agility.
That's funny. I also balance between action boy but I also have 6 points, but I have 5 in the God, I just keep calling it aggression. I always call it adrenaline. I have 5 in the adrenaline and 1 in action boy. I've kind of like flip-flopped it of you.
Hey, so before we jump topics too much on ammo to sell, I was going to say fusion cores are a really good one too.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many fusion cores. I never wear power armor.
Even to me, I'll buy them.
I just, my stash, I can't drop them. I can't pass them up when I find them. And I have so many. And I have no space, guys. I have no space. It's a problem.
Did you get a backpack yet? That helped a little.
No, I haven't gotten the backpack. Yeah, I'm so behind on this new content. I'm a bad Fallout podcast host.
You're busy. You got E3 coming up. You have important things to get ready for.
I do. I haven't had time to play a video game in like 2 weeks because I've been preparing for video game convention.
So one of the big things we wanted to have you on for was to discuss E3. And this will be your first time going to. Can you tell us just a little bit about just getting there in the first place? How this all happened?
Well, I did go last year, not to the actual E3 show floor.
Oh yeah,
but I went to the
press
conference last year, and I went to EA Play, which was cool. I just got a random invitation from Xbox, and this year I had signed up for the Bethesda E3 showcase registration and got in, so that was exciting. And I decided, well, I'm going to go for this. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a week of vacation. And I went ahead and put in for to see if I qualified for a media badge, and I did. So
nice.
Wow. It can't be because of a podcast.
It absolutely is because of a podcast. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Congratulations, Shalene. That's so much fun.
Thanks. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to BE3. And I'm going to the Xbox press conference, the PC conference, and then I have a bunch of appointments set up during E3 to do some game demos and stuff. So,
all right, Fallout Feed crew, you have a million questions about E3 and Shalene and everything. So we'll go ahead and fire those at her. But before that, just answer me these riddles 3. I have no idea about E3. The community is super excited. Everyone, especially Jerry. Jerry takes a week off of work for E3 to watch the stuff, or like he was planning on going or something maybe. But
I used to take time off of work too.
Yeah, I did the last couple of years.
I would just sit home with like a Mountain Dew and some chips and watch the streams.
Oh my gosh, that sounds nice. But as a total E3 noob, like last year was the first time I ever watched any like content from it, and it was I think it was the Bethesda like documentary, and or was that from a different event? Was that from E3?
They're thinking of the No Clip documentary. So there was a No Clip documentary that aired the day after about the making of 76.
Okay.
That we posted online. Then there was a big interview. Jeff Keighley was up there with Todd, and they talked about a bit. We posted that on the group. Yeah. And then, of course, the Bethesda showcase itself. Did you see some of that the night of on Sunday?
Yeah, there was like a Starfield like teaser and a Elder Scrolls 6 like helicopter shot basically. Yeah, I mean, but I'm not I'm not a guy who goes to YouTube and goes down the YouTube hole and watches videos. I don't go onto Twitch and watch other people play games. To go watch just sort of like a conference like that is sort of out of my character. But I did enjoy watching the Bethesda content. But I don't, just in my personality, I don't think I could sit there and just watch the video game content all day, especially. No offense, everyone out there, but I'm a very selfish, narrow-minded video game player. I really play Fallout 76, and that's just about it. And I don't have a ton of interest in a ton of other games. But maybe that's just me being ignorant. And if I did watch the whole thing, I'd be like, holy shit, look at all these great games. I need to play all these games. And then in turn, I need to slap myself in the hand and say, no, you need to play Fallout 76. You have a podcast.
Sounds
You
to
can do
me
whatever
like
you damn
you're a
well
much
please,
more
you know?
responsible Fallout podcast host than some other Fallout podcast hosts that shall remain nameless.
Way to turn it around, make it complimentary. I love it. But speaking of watching the conferences or not, how many times when you've been doing it at home, anyone, how many times do you watch some of them? Because I tend to watch like the Bethesda conference at least 3 times, the Xbox conference at least 3 times. So I'm kind of the opposite of Andrew here.
I usually watch them a couple of times as well, Jess. I watch them one time just to get the experience, and then I watch them again and pause and analyze and take notes.
Exactly. Do you watch with commentary sometimes, like the Giant Bomb commentary or Kind of Funny commentary, any of those?
Now and again, I will watch someone do commentary, but it's I've kind of, I don't know, I've gotten a little pickier about where I get my commentary. So
that's fair. Yeah.
How does the commentary work? Does someone upload a podcast like Mystery Science Theater style, or how does that work?
Well, for example, at We Just Love Games, we do a co-stream of the Bethesda E3 showcase. So basically, we can all watch it together and comment on it as it's happening, live reactions, talk about it with the people in the chat room, and basically that's it. So you're just basically doing a live podcast as you watch the showcase together with the viewers.
Kind of like live tweeting your reactions, but not broadcasting it to the whole world, just people actually tuning into you.
You know, I think Sergio or Jerry, either one of those guys, suggested doing that, like everyone hanging out and live tweeting or live chatting. So, I'm grandpa over here. You're gonna go live tweet the old E3 conference, are you? Oh, another question, riddle 2. E3, what does that mean? Where's the title come from? What does it stand for?
I believe it's
Electronics and Entertainment Expo. I think, right?
It. Yep.
Oh, okay. Electronics Entertainment
Expo.
Exposition. Okay.
I think. Somebody, if the chat room's active, somebody will correct this.
No, you got it right, Pat. I love how Andrew said exposition. Do you also have a cellular telephone?
I have a handy. All you German-speaking Europeans out there are losing their minds at that joke right now. Both of you listening. The cat is about to step on the keyboard, hit the space bar, and stop the podcast, just so all of you know. Get away. Get away. Go.
Bad kitty.
Put the pause in pause.
Yeah. Ray, are you an E3 fan? Do you check it all out and dive into it deep? And you don't seem to have an interest in a ton of other games.
Yeah, I mean, I take a look at what's coming up, and I'll look at the ones that I'm interested in. But most of the games aren't the ones that I play. So, and the games that I've played in the past, most of them aren't in E3. So,
since you've been a host of the podcast, what other games have you been playing besides Fallout? I know you played that one. What was that Russian game? That was
Stalker.
Yeah.
I haven't played that since I've been on the podcast. Now,
and the submarine game. You were a big fan of the submarine game too, right?
Yeah, Silent Ender 3. No, just Skyrim.
So have you seen any sneak peeks?
Which I have to get caught up on so that I'm ready for the podcast in a little over a week.
Yeah.
And I am looking forward to Borderlands 3 because Borderlands is a franchise that I've enjoyed a lot.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that was a PC game as well.
Yep.
Fun.
So, and it's most of the PC games that have driving in them, I don't play because it's so frustrating because they're made for controllers.
Wait, Borderlands has driving?
But yeah, the driving in Borderlands it works well with the mouse. So
Oh, I haven't played much of it. I didn't recall that it had driving at all. I'm usually not a fan of driving either. I don't think Pat is either. I think he.
No, yeah, I can't play any game with driving like Mass Effect, like the driving levels like that. I stopped playing that game because there were driving levels.
To be fair, the driving levels in Mass Effect were terrible.
Oh
Yeah, at least at the Mako for sure.
Pat,
but it's a lot of fun in Borderlands.
does that include John Marston's horse, Pat?
I don't even know that. I don't even know that. I'm such an idiot savant of games. It's Fallout, Skyrim, Fallout for me. I don't know anything else.
In Skyrim, can you ride the horse without falling off?
I don't personally fall off the horse, but I murder my horses constantly. That's why I have to go get the ghost horse that you can murder, but at least you don't have to feel guilty about it because it's already dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that there's the one you can summon too?
Yeah. No, he's great. I like him a lot. He dies, but I don't have to feel bad about it.
Is he a bone horse or something? God, it's been so long.
Arvak, is that what it is? Arvak, I think.
Oh yeah. Gosh, it's been so long since I've done all that. I need to go into a deep Skyrim dive. My Moses was playing Skyrim. He's done his Argonian, and we got him his fire breath, so he has like mini Godzilla. So we're running around having fun. We're gonna go on a dragon killing spree tomorrow, I think. Be a good time.
He wanted me to continually spam Lydia with fire breath. Again, hit her again. I gotta wait for the cooldown.
I keep having to reload because he just slaughters all the town guards and Lydia over and over again.
No wonder he liked Ray so much.
They have a similar gameplay philosophy, that's for sure. All right, so E3. Electronic Entertainment Expo. How long has this been going on?
What do you think, Shalene? Was it 94 the first one? 93? It was early to mid 90s.
It's been more than 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's as long as Comic-Con, but it's way up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume just major game producers are invited.
Yes, yeah.
Well, did it used to be more like about Sony and Panasonic showing off their new hardware, like DVD, DVRs and stuff?
Okay, so that's kind of the history of it. E3 is sponsored by the ESA, the Entertainment Software Association. Originally, a lot of the stuff at E3 was shown at the show in January. What's that one called with all the actual hardware products?
Comms? See something?
Yeah.
See something. It's the one in Las Vegas, right?
It's called, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So originally there was like a section for games, and that was going on, through the 80s into the early 90s. And then E3 kind of spun out of that as its own show, sponsored by the ESA. And originally it was very small, like they are. And then the big names started doing their press conferences for press, starting in the late 90s. And it got bigger. Then there was a year or two where it went to Atlanta in the mid 2000s, and then it came back to San Diego, which is where it's been most of the time. And it's well, Shalene could talk about it. It's been going up and down as far as relevance, popularity. I mean, with the internet, people are getting the word out separately from these conferences. E3 has been getting bigger, as in, they're having the press briefings and conferences before the show even opens, which is technically Tuesday, and that's been growing over the last couple of years. But then you have people separating, like Sony's not going to be there this year. EA has been doing their own thing on Saturday for the last couple of years, which is kind of E3, kind of not E3, called EA Play. So some people are wondering about the future of it. But yeah, it was purely press in the past, and then it's recently been opened up to public as well to kind of keep it vital and going.
That was a really good summary.
So you mentioned the things you're going to be doing. What are you most excited about, Shalene?
Oh gosh, I'm really excited about everything, really. You know, I love games. I am excited to go to the Bethesda showcase this year. Last year, when I went to the Xbox press conference, I really wanted to see the Bethesda one too. And I sent him some emails. I was like, I'm going to this conference, I host this podcast. And I got this very polite email back saying, like, no, no, go home. So I'm excited to actually attend that this year and see what's coming out new from Bethesda.
Were you randomly selected for this, or was this a reaching out?
Well, I was pulled out of the lottery. Yeah. I registered on the public registration, so I think it was random. I did mention the podcast, so I like to think they read it first, but no, it was random.
Well, as we mentioned earlier in the episode, podcasts have lots of pull now.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to some of the demos that I'm going to get to do at the actual E3 conference. That's going to be pretty great. Going to get to see some cool games, and yeah, it's going to be good.
Have you gotten any like hot tips of stuff that's there? Like, are you? Is there something you're specifically looking for, or like a booth you're going to make a beeline for?
Well, I have a lot of appointments set up, so I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have to actually just wander around.
Yeah.
I'm going to see Cyberpunk 2077. Excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
Going to see The Outer Worlds, the new game from Obsidian. So that's going to be good stuff. I have very high hopes for that one.
Obsidian, didn't they do like, what was it? Was it New Vegas?
Yes,
Yep.
they did New Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know if you you probably don't watch the video game awards, but they announced The Outer Worlds at the Video Game Awards, and they were actually a little shady with how they did it. They were like, from the creators of the original Fallout and the team that made Fallout New Vegas, all those Fallouts that didn't disappoint the community, comes The Outer Worlds.
Wait, producer of the original Fallout?
Yes, some of the original.
Well, that was the people, right? Shalene is like it was the people. It was Black something Studio.
Black Isle. Yeah,
Black
some of
Isle,
the people from Black Isle were involved.
They made Obsidian, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So.
Well, yeah, but that's funny. I mean, not to get us off the E3 track, but it's interesting. Like, I think there's been a real kind of migration, like Fallout 4. I've seen multiple people, and Andrew Ray, maybe one of you guys and others, like talking about how much they really find 4 to be their favorite. I mean, I think there's a core of people who really genuinely love 4, you know, as much as some of us love New Vegas. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody has a favorite, and some of them are different than others.
I mean,
yeah. I think that surprised me a little bit, because I don't think when 4 first came out, I didn't expect it to become favorites, because, you know, the voice protagonist, blah, 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 a lot of controversy. But I think just in watching, you know, there's a couple streamer communities that I follow a little bit, and it seems like 4 seems popular because they're not because the plot and the characters are probably not as good, but the companions and all the different ways you can play it, I think really attract people, you know, with different ways you can challenge yourself or different companions you can bring in. I think that seems to be what draws people back to 4 from a replay perspective.
And, you know, something that was really special about Fallout 4 was that it was basically the first time in a Fallout game that the gameplay was fun. You know, we've always loved Fallout for the story and the characters and the setting and the atmosphere and the music. But the combat was clunky. You know, it was clunky in the ISOs. It was clunky in 3. It was clunky in New Vegas. And in 4, it just ran beautifully. You know, it was fun to play. So,
I mean, I love menus, but yeah, 4 was more fun. It's I always feel like, in a way, talking about how it turned around, the previous Fallout game to the current is gains a lot in popularity. You know, the way that when New Vegas came out, people were trumpeting 3 because New Vegas was so buggy. And then New Vegas has become everybody's favorite when 4 came out, and everyone's talking about how fantastic it was. And it's maintained some people's favorites. But now that 76 is out, a lot of people have really warmed up on 4.
Well, and 4 for me, it's all about the modding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, the Fallout 4 I play is dramatically different than the Fallout 4 that Bethesda released.
Yes.
Now, Ray, do you play like with the like, because Jess mentioned menus? I think that's one of the sets of really good mods is the ones that give you like a lot more categorization menus, like, you know, they iconize the menus and let you categorize things. I played a little bit with some of those on PC, and those are actually really do enhance your inventory management.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to play. And plus, you know, playing on PC, you know, the only menu you have to look at is, you know, to see what you want to unload at the vendor, or, you know, what you just picked up to see if it was any good. Because, you know, everything that you use is hotkeyed.
Mm-hmm.
So
unless you play with a controller on your PC.
Controller on PC. I play PC more than anything on 76, and I
why
use it.
on earth would anybody do that?
We're
It
the
just
ultimate
feels
heretics to Ray, Shalene.
High five, Pat.
Yeah.
You
In
know.
all seriousness, for me, because I you know, way back in the day, you know, I played keyboard and mouse. But since I sort of switched to consoles for 80%, when I want to go to PC, it's like I don't want to learn. I don't want to have to reteach myself keyboard and mouse. So it's just a laziness thing. It's not anything other than that. It just makes my experience more seamless between consoles and the PC.
Yeah,
No,
that makes
for most cases, I can just remap my keys to what I need them to be.
Speaking of iconizing, is there an equivalent in Fallout 4 to like Sky UI for Skyrim?
Don't think so, Ray. I don't think there's anything quite that sophisticated, is there?
No, because you're really not dealing with that deep of a menu. No, I can't think of one.
Okay, that I was just wondering, because I've never played Fallout on PC. You know, I've done lots of modding and playing the Elder Scrolls games on PC, but not Fallout. So, and you know, modders, they, like you're saying, they get really deep into it, and the game you're playing is not the original game. And while we've got mods on Xbox now, and you know, pretty darn deep, you know, it makes a real difference playing with mods. This last playthrough of 4 I did, it's still not PC.
I think it's fairly well known. Anybody have a reason? Let's play Family Feud. Andrew's top 5 reasons why Fallout 4 is his favorite game.
Companions, and companions.
Da-ding, da-ding, da-ding.
And fake followers.
Da-ding, da-ding, da-ding.
And boy farms.
Boy,
Yeah, that's right.
Nordhagen Beach.
yes.
What a dump.
You know, it is just so lovely. You really just need to see it.
Yeah, the place is really nice when you have scrap all, so you can scrap the fish.
Yeah. Right? If you get rid of the dead and rotting fish on the shore, that really takes away from the ambiance of the place. And another reason Fallout 4 would probably be my favorite is because it's the first one I experienced really into any depth. You know, the first one, you know, the first one you play is your first love will always like leave a special mark on your heart.
Absolutely.
Going back to New Vegas, like you mentioned, the stories are great. It's tough for me for Fallout 4 being my very first one to go back to New Vegas.
Especially, I would imagine, since you play third person, don't you?
Absolutely.
And the third person in 3 and New Vegas is incredibly, incredibly janky.
And you can't. I don't know. It's still, you can tell the game is designed for a first-person experience because you put your cursor on something, you can't fucking pick anything up. When you want to get, I have to switch to first-person to pick anything up. Like they and aim, if you want to aim your weapon actually accurately down the barrel, not in VATS, but like actually aiming down the barrel, it's always best to switch to first person because the cursor is off by a good 2-3 inches. It's really weird that they just ignored that, or they weren't more careful with that.
Also, some of your success with firearms depends on your skill with firearms. You can have your cursor lined up exactly, but if you've got 10 points in small guns, then
I did not.
That
did not even cross my mind. You are correct about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the older games were a lot more RPG, and the newer ones I feel are more.
I have the exact same problem. Skyrim, going back to Oblivion. Skyrim was my first Elder Scrolls game. Everyone loves Oblivion. The stories are so rich and lush, and the potato faces are so beautiful. But you know, I just can't get over the mechanic. I actually played Daggerfall. No, what was the one before that?
Morrowind.
Before Oblivion. Morrowind. I played Morrowind, and I thought that was every bit as good, if not even better than Oblivion, because I thought it was. Because going backwards, it doesn't matter if you go back 1 or 2 or 3 games because they're all clunky as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Daggerfall, if you did load that up, is a bit scarier to play. Oh my goodness, it's like going back and playing the original Doom.
Is Daggerfall possible on Xbox? I did do Morrowind. I do have that purchased.
No, Daggerfall isn't possible on Xbox.
No, that's a PC only one.
Yep. But Morrowind does run pretty great on Xbox. I mean, I've talked about it before, but
you've gotten deep into replays on Morrowind.
Yeah, I swore that when it came out back compat, I was finally going to beat Morrowind because shamefully I never have. Well, I got further, maybe like 160 hours in, 150, 160, but I just couldn't do it because you get hit a certain point near the end when you're getting in the beyond the ghost fence and actually doing this stuff at the end where you can see exactly what you got to do. You know you can do it. And so there's really no fun or challenge because it's just, I've got these 3 dungeons, I go back to the guy, return the thing, sell stuff, go back in, and it's just not worth it. So I still haven't finished.
And it's evidently the largest map of any Bethesda game, right? And there's no fast travel.
No.
Right?
No, that's you're thinking there is fast travel in Morrowind, sort of. I mean, it's Silt Striders and Mage Guilds and stuff in Morrowind. Okay. Daggerfall is the one with the largest map technically because it was procedurally generated.
Oh.
When you start the game, so it's huge. It's kind of samey, but it's huge.
That's fun.
Sorry, going down an Elder Scrolls hole.
Yeah, I played Oblivion until I got out of the sewer. Then I said, "Okay, I'm done with this."
Oblivion is so worth it. It's got such good writing and such good guild quests.
I don't know. I've tried Oblivion. I've tried it again and again. But I get to the part where Patrick Stewart dies and I just don't see the point in going on.
So 15 minutes in.
Uh-huh. I've played that first little rat cave like 6 times.
Oh, man, there's a quest line if you do the Dark Brotherhood where you got to sneak back in through there, but it's full of guards. It actually turns out to be a really cool dungeon going backwards.
Cool.
But, yeah. I had my 4th replay of Oblivion where I finally 100%ed it last winter, not the one that just happened the year before. Yeah, I posted pics in my gallery. That was great on back compat on the 1X with the enhanced graphics. It was as good as playing it on PC. And the Morrowind back compat was pretty good. So yeah, I'm still checking them out, which, kind of makes us wonder about remasters, going back on the E3 stuff.
Yeah.
I've already had my hopes crushed. Everyone's told me they're not expected to announce anything. Don't get your hopes up and everything. But we might as well talk about hopes and dreams, what we expect to happen and what our giant grandiose wishes would be. My giant grandiose wish would be, of course, and this will not happen, Fallout 76 on some sort of mobile something or other, Switch, or maybe not full game on phone, but at least able to access an app where I could access my my vending machine and manage that sort of stuff, or do some side crafting. I know we always mentioned that the Fallout 4 app should have had that sort of thing where it'll access your character and the inventory where you could do crafting while not actually in game, but it would transfer to your account when you actually sign in again or something.
A giveaway app for 76 would be pretty great.
Yeah, I would love something like that.
Yeah.
Also, Fallout 4 on Switch. I've been pounding the table for 2 years about that. So I've been told that's not going to happen. But
Oh, I don't know.
is there any-
I'm
What?
still on the side that says I think that's more likely to happen than the Fallout 3 remaster people are talking about.
hmm
So,
I don't think we're getting any of the above.
Yeah.
everyone said no, don't expect anything. And first of all, where do you get that not information, but where do you get that sort of why do you fall on that side of the coin?
As far as me for Fallout 4 on Switch, or them for none of the above?
For like Shalene and Jess, like, yeah, Shalene, why do you think none of the above? Jess, why do you think Fallout 4 would be more likely than other things?
Well, I think that we won't get Fallout 4 because I'm not sure the Switch is up to it. I'm really not sure that the Switch is powerful enough to run Fallout 4. And I don't think we'll get those 3 New Vegas remasters because Bethesda tends not to revisit its old games. I know they've rolled out Skyrim again and again and again, but that's been kind of a singular instance.
Yeah, and it's not really a remaster.
They haven't even fixed, Fallout 3 for PC. It's really hard to get it to run on a modern PC, and they still haven't given an update for that. And I just don't see them doing that.
I agree strongly with Shalene on the reasons for Fallout 3 or New Vegas remasters, because Bethesda in the past just hasn't shown any proclivity for that. And Todd's even made statements, about we like the games to stand on their own on the system they were designed for, and that, that's part of their charm. The quirks of the system, the clunkiness, as you might call it, is part of the charm. I did mention that in an interview around GDC, he softened on it. And when someone asked him about it, I don't remember the exact quote, but basically he said, not that it was not anything that they would consider doing, but now he said something about like, it's an idea, but that's not a direct quote. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Mhm.
Now the reason I think Fallout 4 for Switch, because it is true, it is a bigger game than Skyrim in certain ways, but Skyrim Special Edition was done using the same engine as Fallout 4. A lot of the upgrades that they made for Fallout 4 were what they used on Special Edition. The Switch version of Skyrim is based on the Special Edition build.
Is it really? I thought it was
Yes.
a different build.
It is a different build, but they took, from what I understand, a lot of the Special Edition build, and then they tweaked it down. Changed out some textures, changed a few threads and stuff like that.
Yeah, it
But,
sure doesn't look like Special Edition.
No, it sure doesn't. But that's the Switch screen as a whole.
Mhm.
So I'm feeling like if they could figure out how to do it with Skyrim Special Edition, maybe Fallout 4 for Switch. Keep that going. Remember, bring back some of the Fallout love for those who don't love Fallout 76, although we'll convert them eventually, maybe.
I'll turn your mouth to Todd's ears.
Yeah, exactly. But so that's my thought. There'd be a big community for it. It's something I think they could do given their experience with Skyrim Special Edition on Switch. And like we talked about Easter eggs, get some Samus Metroid power armor in there.
Oh, that would be so great.
All right, so I have to ask what. So when that happens, not if, but when it happens, let's be confident.
Yar.
What is the Nintendo content that they add to the Switch, like they did with Link in the Link stuff in Skyrim? What do they do to add Nintendo branding into Fallout on the Switch?
Okay, well, I just mentioned the Samus power armor from Metroid, so that's one thing. We had the chests in Skyrim, so I'm thinking, what if the pipes going into some of the factories actually had mushrooms or fire flowers in them? And what else? Oh yeah, mud crabs are now Octoroks.
Well,
Your storage boxes have question marks on them.
guys, if you think about it, Breath of the Wild is basically the same game as Fallout 4. You wake up from a cryogenic sleep to the post-apocalyptic ruin of a world you once knew.
Wow.
You say
Oh, wow.
one from So there might be some Breath of the Wild incorporation there.
Mind blown.
I haven't. I own the game. I haven't even started it.
I think Breath of the Wild is the best Bethesda game we've had for a while.
Breath of the
Yeah, it is an open world sandbox. It is beautiful. I mean, you can't affect as many things, but I mean, I haven't played it, so what do I know? But it doesn't look quite as complex, you know. And Gana's an institution, but he's no institute.
Investigate to me. So
So we do know they will talk about Doom.
yes, they're painting the Figueroa with a big Doom mural.
Yep.
Oh, is that what they're doing this year? I was wondering.
It's going to be a big old Doom mural. So.
That's 2 years in a row then for Bethesda getting the Figueroa.
Mm-hmm.
What is that word you're saying?
The Figueroa is a hotel on the same street as the convention center. And it's these 3 buildings together. And you may have seen the Vault Boy mural that was on it for Fallout 76 last year. The 3 giant buildings with the Vault Boys on them. That was used in some of the marketing last year. But every year a different company rents out the Figueroa's walls to paint a giant game mural for E3.
Yeah, so Doom Eternal will definitely be at the show, you're right, from id. And then probably Rage 2 DLC, since Rage 2 dropped from id earlier this year.
Almost certainly. Has anybody been playing that? Is it good?
Have not. I think 1 or 2 people in groups started it. A few people were excited about it, but I don't know anyone who's gotten more than 5-10 hours in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rage was another one. It had a lot of fun mechanics in it, but the driving was just ridiculous, and so I rage quit it.
Very rarely a first-person shooter makes me incredibly motion sick. And Rage was probably the worst motion sickness video game experience I've ever had.
Yeah,
So.
they went nuts with the camera movement on that.
Yeah, now they've got that good Doom shooting in Rage 2. So supposedly the shooting's better. And they've advertised Rage 2 as kind of Borderlands light, you know, all the pink and purple and crazy, wacky post-apocalypse. But people have played it, from what I've heard, said it's actually a little more standard than that. It's not anywhere near as Borderlands style as they make it look in the advertising.
Yeah, I hadn't really heard it before, but the Borderlands team, they refer to that type of game as a shoot and loot.
Yeah, looter shooter. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's they did that for Borderlands first, because it used to be well, what do they call like Diablo and stuff? That was also a loot game. And so when Destiny and Borderlands went that way, they started calling it looter shooter because, you know, there's over 1 million guns in Borderlands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's all about the fat loot. And I know they're trying to do that with 76 a little bit with all the legendary prefixes. It's just way too many shovels in the world, right?
Yeah.
Some legendary rolling pins.
Yeah. I think I got earlier from for her. I think I got a worse drop than the legendary shovel. It was a legendary, so it was a hunter's knuckles. That this is knuckles, mind you, that were weightless. So 90% off. They weigh 0.02. They weigh barely more than a bobby pin. But they're hunter's knuckles.
Yeah,
So,
there's some special ones out there.
Yeah, that one gets recycled tomorrow as soon as my clock resets.
My favorite is when you get like the Ghoul Slayer's gamma gun.
Yes.
Exactly.
So you're doing double healing to those ghouls.
So dumb.
And Andrew, you talk about how you like the radium rifle, but I just everything, and there's no humans in this game, so everything you want to kill is going to be immune to radiation. So
I for some reason, and it makes zero sense to me because there's no biomaterial on them, the robots take radiation damage,
That is odd.
which is weird.
Hmm.
You know, I wouldn't think anything that didn't have flesh would be, you know, affected by radiation like that, you know?
Well, I guess robots are people too, Andrew.
If we learned anything from Fallout 4. Ray, what are your hopes and dreams from E3? I know you don't give a crap about anything on Switch. You don't probably care about remasters because you mod the hell out of anything anyway. What could you wish for Fallout related at E3?
Well, I'm thinking this is just going to be an off year for that.
But
you know,
I'm not saying
you can't have something every year.
I'm saying your hopes and dreams, not your actual expectations. What could you want in a Fallout announcement at an E3 event? I had a really silly idea.
Fallout 5.
Well, do you remember, Ray? One thing we did promise back in the day was that we would do this podcast until Fallout 5 came out. Little did we know that they would give themselves a nice 8-year window by putting out Fallout 76 in between. So we got a good, at least how many ever years until Fallout 5 comes out.
Hey, I'm
would
grateful. Maybe we'll get to retire too, Andrew.
That'd be amazing. I know you're not supposed to wish your life away and rush, but I can't wait to retire.
Then we could do 6-hour podcasts.
I'd go daily, man. We'd do streaming events. This is what we would do. It'd be fun. All right, so my silly game idea would be a Pokemon Go style live action game, Fallout shelter, where I could turn people at my work station at work into my vault dwellers and make them do quests and stuff.
That would be magnificent.
That would be.
Is that silly? Is that something like that possible? I wouldn't even know, but I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, just use the pacify perk.
Fuck you, Karen. Fuck you. You're pacified.
I'd have to start hanging out at the mall.
Ray.
I would just be using it to make cute avatars of myself. Like some kind of post-apocalyptic Snapchat filter. Amazing.
That they should do a Ghoulify Snapchat filter.
Oh, that would be incredible.
That would be fun. My wife plays around with those a lot. I've never actually done it myself, but that would be pretty fun.
Yes, the entire social media would just explode with people being like, "Hey, smooth skins."
Well, it's the beginning of the end of any social media once Grandpa Andrew gets around to downloading it. So are you guys ready for Snapchat to fall off the face of the fucking earth? Because I can download it for you if you want me to.
Well, Snapchat. See, the Snapchat is immune to that, Andrew, because nobody under 25, over 25, can actually understand how to work it.
Yeah, that's what
It has the most opaque interface.
That just hearing that rumor, Pat, has kept me from even trying to play with it. My wife's like, "Oh no, you would have fun. It's so fun." I'm like, no, I can't. I'm not even going to pretend.
I have it on my phone, but I can't understand it.
But I don't actually know how to do a post. Yeah.
Oh, guys, it's so meant for us.
So, you know what my ideal Fallout thing to come out of the showcase would be, and this is never going to happen, but what I would really love would be a remaster of the isometric games in a modern Fallout engine, in the Fallout 4 engine.
How would that work?
It would just be the story of the original Fallout, but rebuilt in the Fallout 4 engine. I would love that. The writing in those isometric games it's brilliant. It's really, really good.
That seems super doable in mod style of Fallout 4. People have created their own, sections of the map where it's just you just go north on the map a little bit, but bam, it's like a whole new area that they have actually programmed or whatever.
There are some modders currently working on doing that with Fallout 2. It's called Project Arroyo. They're working on porting Fallout 2 into the Fallout 4 engine. But it's going to take them a long time, and I want it now.
Of course.
Yeah. I think that's an excellent call. That's because every couple of years I'll say, "Oh boy, I really want to play those games so I can experience the lore firsthand rather than through Wikipedia and the super mutants and Fallout New Vegas talking about it." But and then I play for half an hour, and I just can't do it. It's just too boring.
I do love those isometric style games. I mean, I haven't played the Fallout ones though. Shalene, have you played both of them?
I've played Fallout 1 pretty extensively, and Fallout 2 I've played, but I've never beaten it. I've just kind of explored around a bit.
So having played them, how do they compare to like the say Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, or even up to like the Neverwinter Nights?
I never played any of those games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What can I compare it to? I don't know, because I just replayed Baldur's Gate like 3-4 years ago. It was way harder than I remembered, but it was great.
These may be the only isometric games that I've ever played. I'm not really thinking of any others that I have. But the writing is brilliant. It holds up so well. The dialogue and the characters, it's great. The locations, really good. Story is great. But for someone who started with Fallout 3, it's very hard for me to go back to that style of gameplay.
Now, have you tried, say, Pillars of Eternity or Divinity Original Sin, which are modern isometric games?
Nope. I've heard good things, but I've never tried them.
Have you, Ray?
No, if it's not first person, I probably haven't played it.
Oh, okay. I gotta say, I mean, for some of our audience who has, I loved the Divinity Original Sin games 1 and 2. I have Pillars of Eternity, haven't played it yet, but those kind of games I can get into, so I don't think that would be too much of an impediment playing the ISOs. But if they're too clunky, I don't know. That's why I was looking for a comparison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really don't like turn-based combat.
I grew up on it, so I still like it, but I have definitely gotten used to. You know, I mean, I've been a console gamer primarily for 10 years now, at least. So
Right.
So that would be a great dream game. For the Bethesda conference, still talking about that. What else? We mentioned Rage, Doom Eternal. I know you're looking forward to something from Arcane, Shalene. Is that correct?
Yes, I absolutely think we're going to see something new from Arcane. So looking forward to that. I love the Dishonored series that they did. The Prey reboot that they did was really good. So I'm hoping to see something new and exciting from Arcane.
Now, I know they've been helping Machine Games. I know they have, what is it, Wolfenstein Youngblood coming out? Is that what it's called?
Yes, that looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. I haven't played any of the Wolfenstein remakes. I watched a Let's Play of some of the last one just because the humor was so great.
Mm-hmm.
But it does look like a little bit too run and gun for me, both Doom and the new Wolfenstein games. But Youngblood could be good. I just wonder if Arcane's been working on that too much that they won't have a new IP to announce.
Well, they have 2 teams at Arcane, so.
So the
yeah.
Prey team and the Dishonored team?
Yes. Yeah, that was 2 separate teams. So.
Any speculation what it might be?
Not really. I think it could potentially be a cyberpunk style game. I feel like cyberpunk is the new Pirates. That's something that we joked about on the last episode of GameStack. Cyberpunk is the new Pirates, but
It so is, and Pirates are the new zombies. Yeah, that's good. How about Tango? They did the horror games, right? Tango Studios.
Tango. I think they will be back with another horror game. I think they'll just bring out a 3rd entry in that series because the first 2 did pretty well. So the Evil Within, is that what they were called?
Yeah, Evil Within. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, people really like those, and the second one looked pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played them, but I get scared. I don't do super well with horror games.
Taking a look, trying to think what else Bethesda might have. I know we speculated that there might be a mobile game, and that would be exciting. I don't know. Does anyone have any other ideas?
I think it's probably going to be largely the year of Doom. Are any of you guys Doom fans?
I played a version way back in the day, but not. It's like literally been 30 years.
Yeah, I played original Doom.
Yep.
And I played the demo for the modern Doom, the 2016 Doom reboot. And like the gameplay was beautiful. Like it played so smoothly. It was fun. But I just got a little uncomfortable. There were just maybe 1 or 2 too many pentagrams in this game for me to feel great about playing it. That was not necessarily, hell was not necessarily what I wanted to be immersed in for the next 15 hours of my life. So wasn't for me.
Now,
That's
Jeff, your Final Fantasy game is up for a new episode, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Talking about at the Square Enix conference. Yeah, they should show some of Final Fantasy VII Remaster. We're hoping.
Mhm.
Looking at Square Enix, the Avengers is a big one we were hoping for, and they just confirmed this past week the Avengers game will be there. So that's really exciting. That's going to be by Crystal Dynamics, the Tomb Raider team who made the first two of the Tomb Raider reboots. Final Fantasy VII, I mean, we hope so. It's been in development it was announced, 5 years ago?
It's been a long time.
Yeah. So hopefully it's coming out, and they even reduced it to being episodic. So will we see the first episode? But then you have to remember Final Fantasy 15, that took 10 to 12 years to come out. So I don't know. I do not trust Square Enix, especially, of having a quick development cycle. But they're really re-releasing all the old games, so I'm enjoying that.
Okay, so how much am I going to regret asking why is 7 coming out after 15?
I'll make it easy on you. It is a remaster. 7 is the fan favorite because it came out with the PlayStation. It was most people's first entry into JRPGs,
Okay.
3D RPGs, and the Final Fantasy series. For a lot of people, it was huge. It kind of is what took RPGs mainstream from computer gaming nerds to console gaming nerds in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Back in '95, so people have a lot of love for it.
All right. So it's a remaster, all right?
Yeah, exactly. And there've been movies, and so they're going all in on the remaster. But of course, they
Nice.
got to walk that line. Don't change it too much. We'll find
Wait,
out.
was 15 the one that was all about the cooking last year?
Oh, so much cooking. So
There's
Raven
a
loved that.
band road trip.
Yep, it was bros and chocobos. And then you'd stop to camp, and you'd have a delicious treat. And I forget the character's name, but he was a master chef, so you'd be out picking ingredients, and it had a little bit of everything. It was funny.
Now that one's been on my stack for a while, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So,
Yeah, what E3 will really do is it'll give me an idea of what the costumes are going to be at Dragon Con this year.
But they also announced today that Square Enix is going to have Techland's Dying Light 2, which is going to be written by Chris Avellone, one of the original writers of Fallout. So he wrote Fallout 2, I believe, and New Vegas. So he's a brilliant games writer, and I'm looking forward to that.
He's amazing. I mean, he'd work on Pillars too. He left Obsidian in 2014, I think, or so. And he talked about the game last year at the presentation, but there wasn't much to it yet. And Techland, I mean, I didn't love some of their stuff, like the Dead Island or whatever, but
and the zombie bikini statue.
Exactly. But that could be exciting, and yeah, he's a great writer.
I also think that Fallout 1 and 2 would work well in a mobile form on Switch or touch screen on your phone.
You would
Absolutely.
think. Yeah.
I feel
That
like
would be a good port. That would be a really good port.
But then I also thought, well, fuck, Bethesda didn't make those games. Who owns the rights to those?
Bethesda does.
Oh, they did. They
Yeah, they bought
purchased
They bought the whole IP. So
Oh, great. Okay.
Totally,
They could pull that off if they. I mean, there's no way in shit hell that they would ever do that, but I think that would be great if they did. That's one of those shot in the dark type wishes things. Did everybody express their expectations and or wishes?
So I did hear one speculation that that it would be possible that Bethesda could announce Fallout 76 as a free-to-play game.
nah, I don't see that.
There's speculation. I've even gotten a few random messages on Xbox from people like in the game for some reason just saying, "Hey, so what about the rumor that it's going free to play?" Because they see me on there a bit, but no.
But isn't it available for like $20 now?
It's pretty close to free to play. You're right when you put it that
I mean,
way.
is there how much difference is there between like going and buying it for $20 than it is free? I mean,
Well,
it's a serious question. Is there some sort of threshold that makes it that much
No,
different?
I think it's just a you know, a mental threshold. I mean,
Mhm.
you can get an Xbox One X Fallout 76 edition for less than a plain Xbox One X, so you get a free game and a discount on your console because they made too many bundles with 76.
Yeah, well, that's when I upgraded to the One X or whatever the hell thing it is when I got the new Xbox. That's what I got. I got the Xbox bundle, or the Fallout 76 bundle, because that's what Amazon could ship to me fastest.
Hmm.
And it was the same price as whatever other bundles they have, and it was the fastest shipping.
So as far as E3, I'm not going to get into Microsoft too deep, but I am excited to hear stuff about the new hardware. And this is probably the show where they probably won't do a full unveil, you know, like Sony leaking some specs to Wired with Mark Cerny a month ago. I bet we'll get some stuff on specs, but they probably won't give us the name, the price, or the total release date unless it's just a window. I don't know. Maybe, if we're lucky, new consoles out next spring, but probably fall 2020.
I think we'll get a nice sizzle reel of some of the launch games that they have planned. But
Actually,
more than that.
Phil Spencer just tweeted, I think it was this morning. I saw a tweet there. Okay, let me read this. Sorry, super excited. Actually have it saved. Okay, Phil Spencer tweeted, just finishing our final E3 rehearsal here with the team in Redmond. Feel really good about the briefing. He always says that. Lost the show. We have 14 Xbox Game Studios game in the show this year. More first-party games than we've ever had. Fun times.
That's very exciting.
So they acquired all these new studios. You know, they had 5, and then they announced a whole bunch last year, and then some more at the VGAs when they brought on Obsidian and In Exile. Thank goodness. But most of them won't have projects ready yet. So I gotta wonder what they're going to show for first-party stuff. Maybe it's just going to be all teases.
I've got my fingers crossed for Fable 4.
Oh, absolutely. That would be my most wanted thing from Microsoft, even more than hardware.
Mm-hmm. I want the Fable series to come back. That these games, the Fable games, like I love Fallout, but the Fable games have a special place in my heart. I think they were probably the first RPG that I ever really got into.
Mm-hmm.
Fable 2 was a game that I would like call in sick to work to stay home and play Fable 2.
Yeah.
I want these games to come back.
Yeah, it was so compelling. And there were so many systems there. I mean, it was the console RPG that first kind of hit that Bethesda thing where you could be a landlord. You could do so many different things in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the style. So yeah, Fallout 4 is my most wanted thing from E3 overall. And we know that they're going to make it, but are they going to talk about it much? I don't know.
Is it going to ring true to that Fable feeling? You know, that's the other concern.
I think it has to, because they can't do Legends again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got part of the problem with what happened with the Fable IP and Lionhead was that Microsoft, with who they were at the time, were pushing new technology too much. So like Fable Journey for Kinect.
That was so bad.
Yeah, and then Fable Legends was going to be a launch game, and then was going to be a year after launch, and then 2 years, and then canceled. And that's because they were pushing the whole, asymmetric online gameplay, games as a service, because it was the hot new thing, and it just didn't work. So I think they know they have to go back and make a real Fable game. And if it is being made by not Criterion, who's it over there, Playground?
Playground, yeah.
Yeah, if it is being made by Playground Games and the second team, they probably hired some ex-Lionhead people over there and maybe ex-Rare and people who have that real British sensibility. It better be being made by an English team. Or British team.
If Playground is making it, all that I know is that the carriage physics are just going to be incredible.
Real weather systems. Ride your horse, yes. So yeah, that's my Microsoft thoughts. Please give us Fable. If it does come out, Shalene, when would you think it would be coming? Do you think it's going to be a launch title for the next console or later?
It might be. Yeah, I would expect it soon if they're going to bring it out. I would expect it potentially this year on current systems or as a launch title for the next system.
I just got twice as excited. I mean, that would be amazing. I think it's too soon because I feel like it's only probably been able to work on it for a year and a half or so. But who knows? They have a lot of Legends assets left over. So.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, you can have your show back.
I was just gonna ask, did anyone say anything about other like Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield. Is that what you said?
Oh.
Starfield way
Yeah.
in the sky.
Yeah, Shalene has thoughts on that for sure.
Well, they've stated, I believe it was Todd Howard in an interview, stated specifically that they would not show Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield at BE3 this year. And I think that that's a lie. And I wonder if they're going to get around it by maybe showing it on the Xbox stage. But I think we're going to see Starfield this year.
Yep.
Anyone has a ballpark release date for that sort of thing? Like, of course, they're not going to let any. But I mean, what sort of idea do we have for that?
I think it's coming out soon. I do. They've been working on it for a while. I think Starfield will come out soon because, of course, Fallout 76 was marketed as like Bethesda Game Studios, but Bethesda Game Studios doesn't mean the same thing that it did 5 years ago. And the team that was working on Fallout 76 was not the core team, from Bethesda, Maryland. And I think they've been putting some hard work into Starfield. I think it's playable at a playable stage. I don't know if they're ready to let it out into the world, but I think they're getting there.
I feel like they have to be too. I feel like they're working on it simultaneously with 76 since they were sharing that with Bethesda Austin.
I know we've joked about it in the past, but are we going to start a Starfield podcast like immediately, or should we go ahead and get on the ball now and get those subscriptions? Start the roundtable, just making up stories ourselves for the next year and a half before it comes out.
That Starfield show.
Well, we'll have to call it That Starfeed Show, and we'll do it as a joint podcast.
That's funny.
Nice. We can unite.
But once it's announced, I think we're going to have to start with a speculation. Yep. Here's the news of the month. Or maybe just do a segment.
Yeah, that's great. Well, no, we totally have to do them. If it's anything like, Magic and Dragons versus, future post-apocalyptic stuff, if they do that same style, just set in space, I don't understand. There's no reason why I wouldn't absolutely fucking adore that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Space is fucking great. Alien is like number 1 or 2 depending on my mood and my movies.
And is it going to be more RPG or more action? I mean, I hope for more RPG. While dogfighting and space combat would be neat, no dog. All new stuff for them. Yeah, so I hope they stay a little more within their wheelhouse, but give us grand adventure in space.
I prefer that it be a little more like in the vein of a Mass Effect, where you travel from planet to planet and have shenanigans on different planets.
So instead of one sandbox, a number of sandboxes connected via space travel.
Exactly.
You just gave me panicky cold sweats, Jess, when you mentioned that. Ugh.
Alien followers.
Yeah, I could go for that. But trying to fly a ship, Pat, I'm sure Pat got a panicky cold sweat too when he mentioned having to fly ships. God, don't make me dogfight, please.
Yeah.
As long as it controls better than the flyable dragons in Skyrim.
Those are perfect. How dare you?
Yeah, those aren't even tank controls.
So hard to ride the stupid dragon, and it was so lame.
It's basically like moving Tetris blocks.
Tetris is way better. Wow, yeah.
And of course we didn't get into it, but they will of course outline more of the game plan for 76. And this summer with Nuclear Winter, and then this fall with what is it, The Wasteland, or I'm forgetting all of a sudden.
I think it's called Wastelanders.
Yep, that's
right.
it.
So what are we expecting out of that stuff?
So there have been some very credible rumors that they may have a battle royale mode. What are your thoughts on that?
Is that like a Smash Brothers style thing? I don't really know what that
is. Style, Fortnite style.
Right, Battle Royale, that's the new big thing that started with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Apex Legends. All those were 100 people on an island or 68 people, on a peak, and they got to fight till only one remains. So that's what we were speculating last week, that the Vault 51, all the teasers are with the crates and then the Vault 51 Overseer, and the fact that there's a Zax machine in charge of Vault 51 making people compete and fight, that is all a lead into this Battle Royale mode. I think it's pretty credible. I hope there's more to it, but we'll find out. Because obviously, maybe, they split off and did survival, okay, for the PvP. And then they gave us all this single player goodness with Wild Appalachia, which most of us think is a pretty resounding success. It really improved the game.
Mhm.
So maybe they're doing the goodness for the PvP next, and that was their thought.
Do you guys really play any battle royales? Any of you?
Not
Nope.
I.
I've played a fair bit of PUBG. PUBG is one of my top played games on Steam, I think. I love PUBG. I think it's really fun. And I kind of play it as a stealth game, which is not how it was meant to be played.
But it got you the chicken dinner.
It did give me a chicken dinner, yes. I got a pacifist chicken dinner as my enemies killed each other while I hid in a bush. And it's a really fun game. The thing with battle royales is that they give you this sense of tension that is unlike anything else that you get in any other game. It's just really effective at getting your heart rate pumping and really, getting you invested. And I would give the Fallout Battle Royale a chance. I would absolutely give it a chance.
I haven't played a game that has that format. Isn't there a hunter hunted thing here? Is that mildly a 4-person battle royale? I don't even
It kind
know.
of is, yeah. It kind of is. It's a
Yeah,
little bit-
so what do you guys think? Would Battle Royale be a subset of the survival worlds, or would it be yet a third type of world?
I think it would have to be a third
Mhm.
section because of the way, they would have to start a match with 100 players. Can they
Yeah.
fit 100 play? Can they-
Everybody's starting at the same level.
But that's 4 times more players than are allowed on a Fallout 76 server right now.
Pat, you're not going to have inventory for all these players.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you would have like a persistent, inventory throughout these games. You
Yeah.
could, or it wouldn't be balanced.
Right, yeah, it'd be a unique inventory, possible with some skills and perk leveling or cards that you could set up for each match, but everybody be able to use all the equipment. So running around like in a PUBG or something where you
Whereas
find
you drop in naked or with a pipe pistol and a vault suit, and you have to go around finding armor and everything. But it's not so. I agree that's obviously very different, right? No inventory management, but then just like is the game gonna scale? Is this map gonna scale? For 96 people or 76 people, however many people they put in the battle royale format.
I imagine it's going to be in a vault. I imagine it's going to be like Shalene's saying, a separate game mode you load into.
Okay. Yeah,
It'll be a vault or a set up established battleground area, and I doubt it'll be 100 people, but maybe they'll get it up to 30 or 40.
They're going to do 76, don't you think? That's
Yeah, that would feel.
Yeah.
That would feel right.
that's exactly their shtick, right?
What they do with battle royales is they put an ever shrinking circle around the map, and when every few minutes the circle gets smaller, the circle closes in, and if you're outside the circle, then you take extreme damage and die.
So like Radstorm in Nuclear Winter, probably.
That's how they scale the map in a battle royale to force the players to interact.
So how long is how long is like a PUBG match? Like if you jump in at the start, how long does it last?
Well, that depends on how good you are.
Well, but like how like if assuming you got 2 like sneaky guys who are just like waiting for everybody else to die, and and they meet in the middle at the end.
The time I got chicken, I think it was about 40 minutes. The time.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, I watch a lot of PUBG. That's one of the few games that really got me into Let's Plays. And, a lot of times I see 20 to 25 minutes there. And some are faster. Like Fortnite's often faster than that.
Fortnite moves really fast because of all the children, in my opinion. They're faster than we are. They're built differently, those children.
Oh, what was it? We were trying to think. So what's the thing? There's flossing. What's the other thing that came from Fortnite? There's another like pop culture meme.
I have no.
Wasn't
I mean, there are a bunch, but I don't know.
wasn't there was there another dance, or is there a dance from another?
Well, they have they have Carlton's dance from Fresh Prince was real big in there, and he actually sued about it because they used his dance.
Oh, it was that Fortnite, or was that a different game?
No, that was in Fortnite. Yep.
Okay.
And then we talked about dabbing last time, but that was.
Oh, that's okay. That's what it was. Yeah,
Yep.
we off it. Which is like that's like 5 years old or whatever. So it's like way crazy old or whatever.
It's as old as Instagram. I mean, come on.
So, any other closing thoughts on E3? I think that's a pretty good preview for it.
So actually, what exactly are the dates? I haven't even I'm not completely conscious of when it happens. What are the Shalene? What are the dates for E3?
Okay, let me see here. The actual E3 conference lasts for 3 days, and that starts on Tuesday, June 11th, and ends on Thursday, the 13th. But all the press conferences happen before that. So EA Play starts on Saturday, the 8th. On Sunday, we've got EA Play, the Xbox Showcase, and the Bethesda Showcase. On the Monday, we've got the PC Showcase, the Ubisoft Showcase, and the Square Enix Showcase. And then E3 starts.
And then
so Sunday the 8th is, or what? Sunday is the Bethesda day?
Is the unofficial kickoff of E3.
Right.
And the 9th is Bethesda.
9th is Bethesda, okay.
Yeah, and EA Play isn't going to be a real conference this year. They'll broadcast something, but it's going to just be like an hour play session and kind of like sitting talking about it. They're going to show Jedi Fallen Order at 9, I think, and then the new Battlefield. They're going to have a Sims showcase, which is kind of odd. They're going to show the Sims. So yeah, it won't be a regular press conference though until Microsoft goes.
Mm-hmm.
Very
I'm
nice.
going to go to EA Play though. It was fun last year. I'm going to try and check out Jedi Fallen Order. I'm looking forward to that one.
Did you end up playing Anthem at all?
No, I didn't. No.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of surprising they're not going to actually have they don't have an advertised time to be showing it, but hopefully it'll be on the floor, I assume.
I would think so, yeah.
I got my kid a Star Wars game. We were over at the used video game store the other day, and I busted out my kid a Wii not too long ago. Let him have the Wii, and he can start his own gaming collection and stuff. He's already got Godzilla Unleashed. He really likes that game.
Now, is it the original Wii or the Wii U?
Yeah, the Wii. I never. That was one of the few Nintendo consoles I never purchased. Yeah, but
is it the dance game?
No. Oh gosh, I wish. It's the Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
I loved that game.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
So good.
He was so excited. Spoilers. You start the game as Darth Vader, and he was so excited playing as Darth Vader, and he was like, "I love this. I'm a Darth Vader slaughtering Wookiees." I'm like, "Oh, I feel a little dirty about this." But
that's my boy.
So, he gets to level 2, and if you know anything about the game, Darth Vader, the whole first level is Darth Vader going to like find this person and ends up being his pupil or something, and then from then on, I think you carry on the game as the pupil, and
right. The Secret Apprentice.
He's just devastated that he can't be Darth Vader anymore, so he kept playing the first level over and over and over. I had to delete save files so he could not start on level 2, so he could go back to level 1 and be Darth Vader some more. He just has such a good time slaughtering Wookiees.
So cute.
Oh, that's terrible.
At least they weren't Ewoks. That would just be mean. Well, some people would enjoy that, but
yeah, but totally deserved in the case of Ewoks.
Oh, everyone hates on the Ewoks.
Oh yeah.
I like them. Ewok
Yeah.
Adventures was a good film.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say I grew up in the, I was young enough when the Battle for Endor and the Great Ewok Adventure were, enthralling adventures to me, and so I have especially Wicket. I have a special place in my heart for the Ewoks. Yub nub, Pat. Yub nub.
Yep.
Nabakaye.
And it's
Houdini.
so upsetting that they changed the out song on like the special edition or whatever they did. You remember they swapped out they changed one of the songs or something. They added a whole weird new song. So upsetting that they did that.
I've pretty successfully driven almost all the special edition out of my mind.
Atta boy. The stepping on Jabba the Hutt's tail.
Yeah.
Why? So it's just so stupid. All right. Way off track here. Any other E3 thoughts before we move on? Don't have a ton of other stuff on the program for the show tonight. We do have a Fallout Terminal Velocity we could get into a little bit later if we have time, but I do understand we have a little bit of a hard out this evening. So we do have... this is something we should get into. If you noticed on your feed last night and today, you should have found a new podcast in your podcatcher for the Fallout feed, basically announcing a new show. This has grown out of the Galentine's Day project that we threw together for the Fallout feed, where we got all the ladies of ASA podcasting together to come and express their thoughts and feelings podcast form about what it's like to be a lady gamer in modern times. Highly successful. So much good feedback from that episode that and they seemed like have such a good time that they got together and did it again. So Jess and Shalene, what can you tell us about your new project?
Why don't you go ahead, Jess? There's a train rolling through my town.
Okay. Well, to keep this train going on the tracks then, like you said, it grew out of the Galentine's Day podcast, which kind of you inspired, Andrew, talking about doing a special episode. And we all got together and a number of us ladies of ASA, we chat off and on. And so we got a group together and started discussing what we could do. We did the Galentine's Day, really liked it. So we said, let's do another because people seem to enjoy it. So we brainstormed names, brainstormed topics, and we came up with Dames Who Game, which Jen did the art for this one, for the cover art there. We wanted to make it a very group project, so we all contributed an avatar. When you look at that, you'll see there's an avatar representing each of us on the cover art. So that was really fun, and we're hoping to make it a monthly show. So we just released this one. We'll probably do another late June is the plan. And then we'll start doing it on our own feed. Right now it's in the Fallout feed as a spinoff show. And we'll probably start doing our own with the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. I'm super excited. I listened to it today. Wonderful job. It's really great to hear ladies have an open forum to dish.
A ton of fun. Half of the population are indeed women. But that's not represented in voices in the gaming space. And I think it's really great to get some more female voices heard in the gaming space. So I'm very proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, Kara was back in the day and Sarah for a long time now. Jess, I've always felt it's important to have a female voice in the Fallout feed too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, we have so much to say. We chat a lot behind the scenes. We thought, why not chat where people can hear about some of these topics? And it's going to vary. It's going to be games. It's going to be pop culture. It's going to be makeup. It's going to be all kinds of things. And I think you have a sample to play tonight, just as a advertisement for people who may not have listened to it.
I do. I'm really glad you brought up the makeup because you might think dudes tune out that part, but I found that to be one of the more interesting portions of the show.
I expected we'd lose a lot of listenership.
No, not at all. That's always bugged me, and not bugged me. Like it's just weird, and I always notice it when podcasters are like, "Oh, this is bad pod," or "Oh, we're losing listeners by the droves." Now, when they say stuff like that, we don't care what you say. We're listening to you because we like you. You know what I mean? Like, you could talk. I could listen to you guys, gals, talk about just, you know, for your day at work or whatever. It doesn't matter, because I like you guys, and I like just listening to what you guys have to say. So the
Especially
subject,
when
the
we're
subject-
passionate about it.
Mhm.
exactly. I brought it up. It might sound confusing, but I am not a Star Trek fan. I've never been a big fan. I of course don't have a ton of exposure to it. I had friends who liked it in high school, so I'd watch some Deep Space Nine with them every once in a while. But I've never really been a big Star Trek fan. And we're chatting on the side, and I said, you know, I dislike Star Trek, but I would still love to hear Jen and Jess talk about it, just because I like hearing people talk about things that they like, if that makes sense.
It makes great sense, and we're glad you feel that way. You know, when we finished the episode, and we talked about, like Shalene said, losing listeners, and we're like, but this is something we really wanted to talk about, and we really enjoyed it. So, yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely not. Don't worry about the makeup section. It was just as absolutely riveting as the video game chat.
It was really nice having a platform to talk about that with. You know, it's not that often that I get to chat about makeup with some awesome women.
Well, I just hope you fucking bust out Long Claw and wield it and with pride and get your eyes just darn beautiful. I can't believe that there's Long Claw mascara or whatever you were saying.
Oh, it's so good. It's a makeup brush. It's an eyeshadow brush.
That's
I've
incredible.
actually got it here at my desk. Just going to have a look at it right now. And it's a perfect replica of Long Claw. I mean, except for the brush on the end. It even has the little ruby eyes for the direwolf head, and the little hairs carved in for the direwolf head. It's so good.
I'm so nerdy, but that's so fun. That's very, very cool. And you mentioned Needle also had a representative too. And I said, well, that's more of like a fencer's foil or something. That's not like a broadsword. How?
Well,
Is
actually,
it also a brush, or how does that work?
because the Long Claw replica is like a broad brush for laying down a lot of product on your eyelids, and Needle is a detail brush for doing finer detail work. So
That's so fun.
yeah.
How about they got whose dagger was it? I was gonna say the dagger that whoever had and pushed Bran out the window, and then the assassin came and had the dagger that is supposed to be Tyrion's, but it turned out to be freaking Littlefingers or something like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no dagger, just these
Sorry.
two. But it was really fun.
Awesome. Well, that's really cool. Guys, I keep saying guys. That is just an Indiana colloquialism. I'm not trying to be sexist with guys, but I always say that in the group, and I always feel bad about it later. I'm like, hey, you guys, you dames, you
I
gals.
also say guys, meaning humans.
Yeah, totally.
Is
It's
dames?
universal.
Is dames? That sounds so 1930s sexist to me.
Yeah, that does in that particular context. It does sound a little.
Hey, dames, like that just sounds. I can't say that either.
What's happening, broads?
Broads. Oh, ghoul.
Whenever you say dames, I feel like that means you're automatically like a private eye in the 40s and fedora.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got.
Someone who walked into your office and ruined your life.
Your Nick Valentine scene, basically.
But in the case of the show, it's a good thing because we are the dames.
Yes.
But yeah.
So I pulled a particularly, I thought, hilarious and riveting and intriguing section of the show. Near the end there, Sherry reveals a little secret of her experiences with Halo and expressing them through the art of haiku.
I've played in the past, a long time when I was much more newer to games. I played a little bit of Halo on the Xbox, and I wrote a set of haikus based on my experience in the game.
Okay, so I need to hear them immediately.
I think they're short enough to recite. So
Yes.
Do it.
Please.
All right. So I was very new to the game, very new to gaming in general as well, probably. And this was my first experience. I'll read them all together. Have the rocket launcher, tip of the spear, dead at start. Noob has lost the war. So useless is 6. 30 seconds of combat. Dead again. Now dead. Nothing like the high. Hunters evaded or killed. Achievements unlocked. Hunters! Oh shit! Shit! Please don't notice me, hunters. Why don't you just die? Okay, going good. What? Dead? What killed me now? Bloody suicides. Yeah! Bang, bang, gotcha! Oops. Where did that cliff come from? That's right, dead again. Dreadfoot driving. Don't let a random AI drive. They are even worse. That's it.
That is the highlight of the episode right there.
That is
oh
my
my gosh.
favorite.
We're never going
Yes.
to top that.
That's amazing.
Dames Who Game has peaked.
We need to hang up our microphones now.
Thank you for sharing. That was great. That was so
That
fun.
was amazing.
I found that to be a particularly enjoyable spot of the show. So everyone, please go check it out. The rest of it, and Ray, they discussed in there. Are they gonna get Nancy on Dames Who Game?
That's
Talk of that?
Sarah definitely is bent on getting Nancy involved. So
Well, she made her first appearance on the podcast last week.
yeah.
Very nice.
So, yeah, and she loved the Galentine's special, so she's anxious to hear this next episode. So
Great. And Sarah was extremely appreciative of everyone who took the time to send in a little audio message. And I know that meant a lot to her. So thanks everyone out there who did that. I'm planning on, when I get my act together, because I need to splice in Ray's, but I didn't get them all. Once I get Ray spliced in, I want to mix it down and then post it on Patreon. And I'll put that one up free of charge, just so everyone in the community can hear it, because it was kind of a fun little section there if people want to listen to that again.
yeah, great sound bites on that one too.
Gosh, she's hilarious, isn't she?
Absolutely.
My
So,
grandmother told me to kill stuff. Yeah, I said awesome. I don't know. I don't say it to
yeah.
my grandma because my grandma told me to. I do what my grandma says.
Well, and that was from the goat test.
Okay, I was gonna say, what the fuck was that in reference to? The goat test.
Yeah, well, that's the challenge with all those sound bites is they're completely out of context. But,
Yeah, it's. I mean, and still, I found them hilarious, and I didn't remember what most of them were in reference to. But, yeah. So the Dames Who Game. I keep wanting to say Games Who Dame. The Dames Who Game podcast. The first couple episodes on the Fallout feed. We'll repost those, rebrand it as Dames Who Game, and it'll get its own feed here pretty soon. Hopefully there. So good luck, ladies. I love the project. Love the product so far.
We really appreciate everybody's support. I mean, this project has been really well received so far. I've been blown away by everybody's support. So yeah, I feel very lucky to have been included.
All right. Well, guys, what do we want to get into tonight? I have
I did get a little heads up this time that it was getting recorded because it was the day that we met with Sarah and her family.
Oh, nice.
So we met for lunch, and then she zipped home and jumped on the show.
I think the previous one was recorded on Super Bowl Sunday, and Sarah was like, "Oh crap, Super Bowl."
Yeah, we weren't bothered.
A couple of us didn't actually know that it was Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
I said I'm recording the Puppy Bowl, so we're good.
I love the Puppy Bowl. I know we talked about it, but geez, that's just the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a little fun little game I like to play here sometimes in the Fallout feed. We didn't play it for quite a long while, but we've sort of resurrected it. Jess, we call it the Damashek game. Jess has played it. Pat has played it. Ray has played it. Shalene, I don't believe you have played this game.
No, you're gonna have to explain this to me. I've skipped most of the last season of Roundtable because I haven't finished Fallout 76.
You
Yeah.
can't. No, I really don't care. The basic premise of the game, it's a list game. I have a giant list of things from the game, and your only objective is to take turns naming items off this list. Once you cannot name an item off this list, you are out. I'll give you a few seconds just to think, but there's not going to be a lot of hemming and hawing in between guesses. So I'll just go right down the row, and I'll say, okay, this is the category, and just start naming things. Then I'll say, Pat, go. And then he'll name the item, and I'll cross it off the list. If he can't cross off the list, I cross Pat off the list.
Alrighty. Sounds like something I'm going to lose. Let's do it.
So for last week, we did junk items, the component pieces.
That's good.
And Fallout 76, there were, I don't know, 20 some odd pieces that things can be broken down into. For example, there was acid, adhesive, aluminum, antiseptic, asbestos, ballistic fiber, black titanium, scrap, bone, that sort of stuff. So each of those items, people were said. And then the first week they played it. I don't even remember what that one was, but they got ammo, styles of ammo, and there were almost 30 different kinds, I think, and they nailed every single type of ammo. They did that. No one got out. that was so good. That was great. So we did junk last week.
We did all but 2.
Sorry.
We did all but 2 last week. We almost made it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And Sarah won.
Sarah won. Fiberglass and Flux were the 2 left off. All the good F words. So this week, it was mentioned earlier in the show, Jess, you were talking about legendary weapon modifier words. So let's go with those.
Oh no. A hard one.
This is just the first word, the prefix only, the legendary weapon modifier. So I think there's the 3-word phrase. We're talking about that first word. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead, and the order will be Jess, Pat, Ray, and then Shalene. We'll let you, just to get a feel, let you go last here. So, Jess, let's go ahead and name the first legendary weapon modifier.
Okay, instigating.
Check. Instigating. And next we have Pat.
Furious.
Furious, absolutely. And next we have Ray.
Executioner.
Executioners, absolutely. And Shalene, you're up.
Bloodied.
Bloodied, perfecto. And that would bring it back around to Jess.
Assassins.
Absolutely, assassins for the money there. Pat.
Vanguard.
Is that a
Vanguard's the one where you get plus 35
we're doing
we're
doing weapons only. That's
weapons only. Oh geez. Weapons only. Okay.
Weapons modifiers.
Okay, we'll go. Okay,
now I'll let you have another swing at it. So that was
okay. So all right. So we will go with. All right, I have to recalibrate here. We will go with zealots.
Absolutely, zealots. That works perfectly. Ray, you're up, sir.
Oh shoot, exterminator.
Exterminators will work. Yes, get rid of those bugs. Shalene, you're up.
I'm going to catch flack for this, but junkies.
Absolutely. Perfect. Jess?
Mutants.
Mutant. Yes. Do that extra 10% if you're mutated. Okay. Pat, you're up.
Ghoul Slayers.
Ghoul Slayers, I have it. Yes, sir. Ray.
Berserker.
Berserker counts.
Nice.
Colleen, you're up.
Hunters.
Absolutely, hunters. Jess.
Troubleshooters.
Very nice. Troubleshooters. Get rid of those robots. Pat.
Oh, geez. I can only think of armor. It's terrible. Getting I keep thinking of Prime, but that's not legendary. That's mod type. We got those. We got those. We got those.
We're gonna need an answer.
I am drawing a blank. Can't think of one.
All right, Pat. First one out. That'll move us down to Ray.
Two shot.
Two shot, absolutely two shot. Everybody's favorite. Shalene.
Armor piercing?
Armor piercing. How
Not
about
quite.
can I give you anti-armor? Is that close enough, you guys?
Yeah, close enough. But
All right.
armor piercing, I think, is a mod, right?
Mm.
But it's anyway, yeah, it's definitely good. But
What would be the functional difference between anti-armor and armor piercing?
anti-armor has a specific, like, ignore 50% of your target's armor, and armor piercing, I think, varies by the weapon type.
I have a death tambo that does that.
Very nice. Okay, so Jess.
Okay, how about medics?
Oh, good call.
Medic, very good. Yes, that is there. Ray?
Trying not to think of ones that are in Fallout 4.
Ain't that the rub?
Nocturnal?
Nocturnal's there. Nocturnal is
Nice.
there. Good one, Ray. Skin in your teeth, right?
Hmm.
Colleen, you're up.
Gosh. Let's see here. What's it called? Weightless?
That's a armor.
Oh shoot. I might be out now. We've already said ghoul slayers, I think, and mutants.
You said mutants. Gosh, combine those two.
You
said
combine them, mutant slayers. I don't know.
Mutant slayers. Yes, exactly. They have ghoul slayer and mutant slayer. Mutants is different. Mutants gives you like a 10% damage if you yourself are mutated, but they also have mutant slayers that gives you more damage against super mutants.
Nice.
Yeah, good one. All right, back around to the front here, Jess.
Okay, this is a new one. Quad.
Absolutely, that was gonna be my clue if people couldn't guess. I was gonna say, "Ooh, it's been added recently."
Yeah, that was my ace in the hole. I might be out. I've got to see if I can think of any more.
And let's go on to Ray there.
Did somebody already say violent?
I think that's is that a mod, not a legendary effect?
I can't remember.
I think that's right.
Where it does more limb damage.
Yeah, I think that's a mod.
Ugh.
Or a card or something.
Well, there are some of these effects that happen on weapons, but they're not the primary effect.
They're not the legendary.
So, like limb damage, like there is a 90% less weight. There's a weightless equivalent for weapons, but you don't get a weapon that's only weightless.
I got nothing.
All right, Ray, we're gonna bow you out there.
How many are left, Andrew?
Shalene, you did get Mutant Slayer last time, so Shalene is still in. Just still in. We have 1, 2, 3, crunch. 4, 5. I see 5 left.
Oh, dang.
Is crippling one or is that a mod?
That would also be a mod or something, or it's at least a secondary. It's not the legendary modifier.
Legendary effect. Isn't there one that? No, I might be out now. I think I'm out.
Okay. Jess, do you have any more guesses?
Maybe. I think it might be a secondary effect, but is explosive ever the first effect?
I do not have that on this list, so I guess it's not. But I would have guessed that, but I don't see it on this list, so I guess not.
Explosive, crippling, they're all secondary effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's one for speed on that's used on melee as a first thing, but I don't remember what it's called. I'm done.
Frenzied.
Yes, that was it.
I don't see that on the list either.
That might have been the Fallout 4 name for it then.
Yeah.
Okay, what have we got left? I think we ran out.
Yeah, I throw in the
We have now. Someone said zealots already, but there's also one called anti-scorched.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
I didn't know there was. That's kind of strange.
Yeah,
I think that's only the special 10mm submachine gun that you get from the fire breathers.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a unique legendary effect.
Yeah, because you can get all the prime receivers like we were talking about, which has an anti-scorch effect. But an actual anti-scorched gun, that's just the one you get for the fire breather.
So I can't be mad at you for not getting that one. That's just on one item. That's not something you think about. Also, there is an effect called double.
What does that do?
That is not 2-shot. What does double do?
Never heard of it. Anybody else?
No. Maybe it's like shot, but for a melee?
Gosh, that'd be nice. I've never even seen that.
I don't know.
That's not ringing a bell at all. I mean, you see quad showing up a lot, but double is not ringing a bell.
Yeah, quad was said. That was the 4 times ammo capacity without reloading, right?
I think your list might be faulty.
Okay. Also on this list, we have. Let's see. This might be outside of combat while sneaking and undetected. You get 100% VAT something or other.
Stalkers.
Right?
That's Tinker Tom's gun in Fallout 4 is the Stalkers.
And also, gosh, would this be consecutive hits on a target lowers their damage output?
Suppressors.
Absolutely.
I have a Death Tambo that does that too, and I couldn't think of the name.
Also, our last one on the list. I'm going to look up this double, see if that actually means anything. Could that be another just singular one weapon reward? The last one on the list, you get a little bit of health when you strike an opponent.
Vampires.
Yeah.
Vampires,
that's silly for me because that's my favorite handmade is the vampires. It's only a 1-star, but it's a really good effect with a fast firing weapon.
Yeah, I feel silly not getting that one too because that is really useful.
I have the cane with the candy cane skin. It's a vampire cane that when I was doing the Santa Claus dress up around holiday time, I really liked using that vampire cane. It was really nice.
Yeah, vampire is great on that looked good with your outfit. But vampire is great on a melee weapon, especially when you got to get rid of in there.
It's very nice. Yes. Great. Oh, you guys did really well. There's a few left over, but that's a fun game. I always like playing that.
That was fun.
Great. So we always have more categories. We could do another one. Just have a few more minutes left on the show. If that's how you guys want to sign off for the evening, we could play one more round of that.
Sure.
All right. So Pat, you had trouble getting the armors, so let's go ahead and do those.
Oh no.
Yeah, legendary effects on armors. Only the primary modifier, like we did for the weapons. Jess, go ahead.
Let's go with unyielding.
Unyielding, yes, there it is. Sorry, it's out of alphabetical order for some reason. Yes. That would be Pat next.
Vanguards.
Vanguard is yes. You had that one hot on your tongue. Ray.
Chameleon.
Ah,
Chameleon, absolutely. Shalene is next.
I don't pay much attention to armor. Weightless?
Absolutely weightless, yes.
Chameleon is the only one I care about.
Okay, back around the horn. Jess.
Muffled.
Good
Wrong
one.
game.
Wrong game. I was going to say, where are those boots? That's funny.
I got nothing. I did better on the last one than I expected, but I can't think of anything else for armor. How is that?
Nice. All
Sorry.
right. No, that you don't apologize. That's totally fine. Let's go with Pat. You're up next.
Bolstering.
Yes.
Absolutely bolstering. Ray.
Oh shoot. Dang it. Assassins.
Yes, there's assassin's armor and assassin's weapon.
Yeah.
I think there's mutants armor.
Mutant. Yes, there is mutant as well. Absolutely. Jess.
I'm out.
Oh, you're out. You're right. Pat.
That's the other. There's more. There's others that are for both, but not all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. There's double dipping going on here.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Hunters.
Hunter. Yep, I see it there. Hunters. Yep. Ray.
Shoot, I'm probably going to go out on this one. I think somebody already said it. Troubleshooter?
No one has said it yet. That is a
Oh,
double dipper. See, that's the thing. You think, oh, did someone already say that? No, they said it last round when it was for weapon.
Yeah.
I forgot there were so many doubles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope there's a junkies.
I do not see junkies on this list. No. All right. Quite all right. Good guess though. So we're back to Pat, it seems.
I think there's a nocturnal.
Absolutely. Yes, there is. You are correct. Ray.
I'll try bloodied.
Now, how would that work on armor? The lower your health, the higher your damage resistance?
Yes.
I don't see that. Is
Yeah, that one's rough.
Final guess there?
Yeah, I got nothing else.
All right, Pat, how many more can you think of?
Okay. Ghoul Slayers, Mutant Slayers.
Yes and yes.
I think there's a Zealots.
There is a zealot. You are correct.
We already said Troubleshooters. Already said Hunters. Already said Nocturnal. We said Assassins.
Yes.
Have we said unyielding?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
It was like the first one, I think.
Yeah, Jess had that. Unyielding Vanguard bolstering. You see those. You see Assassins a lot. How many more are there, Andrew?
Well, there might be another like effect that this might be on only on a single individual item or something too, because there are ones that I don't exactly recognize the name of either. But if you want to go from my full list that I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, 5 still left.
Let's hear them.
Yeah,
Now,
go for it.
I don't know the difference, but auto stem and life saving.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Life saving. has a 50% chance to resurrect you when you're downed.
I feel dumb.
Auto stem dumps you. That gives you a stem pack when you fall below 25% once every 60 seconds.
Okay, yeah, you're right. All right, that sounds good. Also, in that same sort of vein, regenerating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like healing factor, but slower. A lot slower than healing factor.
It's sort of like the one that's solar powered perk.
It's more like that speed. Yeah, it's not nearly as fast as healing factor.
Now, this one might be in the same category as Weightless and Chameleon. This is the one that I think might be for one individual item. Cloaking? Is there a cloaking?
No, that's the one that when you get hit in melee, it gives you a stealth field.
Oh, okay. So that is I don't see that one very often though.
Yeah.
And you missed one that was a double dip as well. If you want to, have better performance against those bugs.
Exterminators.
Gotta get that exterminator armor, you guys. All right, well done. Fun little game. I love the Damashek game. Shalene, welcome to the game. We'll play it anytime you're on. This is something we used to do a long time ago, and kind of bringing it back is fun with a new game. See, the thing is, you run out of categories before too long. If you're not creative like me, so I just think that's a fun little game to play, and people.
It's really fun. I enjoyed it.
It gives people that opportunity out there to just really shout at their phones.
That's right. Oh man, yeah, yeah. Listeners are always just yelling. I know I do it when it.
It's like say it, say regenerating. Absolutely. All right. Guys, that was a really fun show. Shalene, thank you so much for coming on and giving us the really in-depth report on the preview of E3. That's really nice. Maybe we can sneak you back on at some point here before too long, get a little report on things you saw and all that. That's wonderful. And I encourage everyone to please listen to Shalene's podcasts. Shalene, would you like to go ahead and tell us about your plethora of shows?
Yes, we have a couple. I'm part of We Just Love Games, and we have Game Stack Podcast, which is a general gaming show. My friends Rick McVick and Vendertron and I chat about the games we're playing and the latest video game news and basically whatever is on our minds. And for E3, we're going to be doing a mini series every day. We're going to get together and talk about basically what I saw at E3 that day. And those will be going up on the GameStack feed. So you can check that out there.
Oh, that's really fun. That's awesome.
And we also have that Fallout show. If you're listening to the Fallout feed, you would probably also enjoy that Fallout show. We do take a slightly different approach to the subject. We do a little bit more of a segmented show, news, gameplay, lore. Sometimes we will talk about real life nuclear disasters and that kind of thing. Nuclear history, ways that history has influenced the Fallout series. But we love Fallout and enjoy talking about it on that Fallout show. So when you run out of the 129 episodes of the Fallout feed, check out that Fallout show.
Hey, that's just the normal episodes. We also have 7 seasons of roundtable episodes as well. So add another probably 70 episodes or whatever to that too.
Yikes! Well, I think we have 21 episodes of TFS. So
yeah, that's great.
We're coming up on you.
Yeah, we share so many listeners. I know we always encourage everyone who joins up in the Fallout feed community and our Facebook group and stuff. We always make sure that people know about your show as well. We try to send as many people your way.
You guys are absolutely a sibling to our podcast. We're big fans of you guys.
And I bet you 90% of the people who listen to one show, listen to our show, also listen to your show. So
it's pretty high crossover.
Pretty high crossover. But that's great that we have a nice varied community where podcasts can get together and high five and stuff instead of be jerks about stuff. So it's always fun to interact with you guys. Everyone go listen to Shalene's projects. Really fun. And be sure to listen to her new one when it drops here in a month or so on its own new brand spanking new feed, Dames Who Game. I'm really excited to have you guys do that show. Be very fun.
Yes, it's been a great experience so far, and I'm looking forward to watching the show grow.
Yay.
Shalene, thank you so much for coming on the show this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Jess, wonderful to speak with you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Pat, as always, wonderful.
Great to be here.
Ray,
Thanks for having me.
welcome home. Now let's get to work.
All right. Sounds good.
I'd like to thank everyone for listening to this edition of the Fallout Feed, and we will see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, the Skyrimatic Podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.